Hello, everybody. Mr. Jiggles here, and guess what? Showing my face here. Anyway, yo, what's up, everybody? Mr. Jiggles here, and we have another Diablo 3 video for you today. So, as you may or may not know, the PTR has just been released as of yesterday, and there's a lot of changes coming to the new season of Diablo 3, and probably the last season, before Diablo 4 is at least released. So, one of the biggest changes here is we have kind of a new build for the Demon Hunter. They reworked everything for the NATALYA set. It is now focused around the skill Spike Trap. Now, I've played a lot with this. This is a very satisfying build. It looks great. It looks amazing the way all the synergies kind of work together. And I got a couple builds that actually make a lot of sense. So I'm going to help by showing you those and what I found so far in the PTR right now. Now, as you may know, the PTR is the public test realm, and it does change. So there may be some nerfs, maybe some changes coming along the way, and, always stay updated with that. So if you want to learn more about the PTR, if you go in the Blizzard app, the BNet app, under Diablo 3 in the PTR section, there should be a news article from them displaying all the different changes that actually happen. There's some stuff that changed for Demon Hunter, there's some stuff that changed for Necromancer, and there's a really cool integration of a new mechanic. Maybe I'll put that in a later video. Anyway, let's get to the two builds that I found to be the best so far for the new NATALYA set. Alright, one being you're going to do a N6 Gears of Dreadlands 4. So what that means is you're going to get the full 6-piece set of NATALYAs, and then you're also going to put 3 pieces, technically 4 pieces of Gears of the Dreadlands on. How do you do that? Well, you're going to have a cube, Kanai's cube here, and you're going to put the Ring of Royal Granger into the cube. And I'm going to show you the new pieces of gear that make all this possible. So one being the Tragos coils. They give you a damage increase, and they give you an extra rune for the spike traps. Then you get Cannon Bolter. They changed it, add some damage on it. Does a little more to the skill. And then finally, of course, Demon's Demise, which also gives you more damage, and it damages enemies again after 1 second. So you're going to be doing constant damage across the board. Now, I also have the Guardian's Case equipped with the REWORKED. You get the full set there, which basically doubles your damage, gives you a lot of your main stat. I don't have any augments. I have basic stuff. I have some ancients equipped, and some general gems in my sockets. Now the Tegux 112, let that go, that's fine. Bane of Trap, Teguk, and Bane of the Powerful have been pretty good so far, and this is what I'm going to consider and tell you as your speed build. It is super resource efficient. Let's go over your skills and passives. So passives, you're going to want custom engineering, gives you more spike traps. Archery gives you more damage because you have 2 crossbows equipped. Ambush for extra damage. Let's keep awareness just for the sake of not dying, since you're going to be a little squishy with squirts. And so what we have here, you can put whatever primary you want. We can watch. We will use this one, Strafe. You can utilize, I just use Drifting Shadow because it gives you a little more movement speed. Smokescreen Displacement gives you more movement speed. Punishment in case you start losing your hatred and you want to regain that really quick. And here's the key for this. So with this speed build, you're going to want to use the custom trigger, because it is important to use custom trigger because the hatred generators now detonate your traps. Normally they would not. So I can show you that right now. So let's go to the Fields of Misery or something, right? Let's find a group of enemies. So boom, I shoot them. lays traps down, traps are not detonating. I use the Hatred Spender, they detonate. Okay? So you're going to want to make sure that you have spike traps on custom trigger. Because now, how the set works is you hit an enemy, or basically kind of shoot your primary, it's going to lay down a spike trap. And it's going to give you damage reduction, it's going to do additional damage, and it's going to keep increasing in damage as well. It stacks. And as your spike traps detonate, they restore discipline, so you get your discipline back. So with the combination between this and the Gears of the Dreadlands, you're going to be firing your primary skill, give you momentum, more movement speed. You're not going to worry about the damage. And strafing is going to shoot your primary skill, so you don't have to keep spamming. It's going to make everything super fluid. All right. And then finally, you have Vengeance, just for damage reduction purposes. You know, that's kind of where it is right there. All right, let's get to it. Like I said, cast your primary really quick, and then just go. Be laying down these traps, you're just going to blow everything up for the most part. Now I could do this during the season on PTR, but I already been testing with the new mechanic, so I don't want to give myself too much power. I want to make sure I'm testing this at a very baseline level, which is basic gear for the most part. And I don't want to be overly buffing while I'm doing testing. And I didn't realize I was doing that until like middle of the night, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm actually making this way too strong. So, by using the mechanic. And I can't actually test whether it's good or not. So as you can see, resource is not an issue. You can just keep going, keep spamming that right click. It's gonna hit an issue when you start when you're not hitting enemies. You're gonna have a little problem with resource, but that's what preparation's for. Just preparation, you're back at full. And then when enemies are close, you're gonna be hitting them, getting the health globes and everything, and you're gonna get that resource back. So you're just spinning and spinning and spinning. Keep Vengeance up, we're chilling. And we're at the boss already. And melted. And that's it. That's a little speed run right there. Now I'm going to show you why I consider this more of a speed run, because yeah, we're going to do like a GR 100 and see how it performs. Now keep in mind, you know, all my Paragon points just go into movement speed, no main stat, no nothing else like that. All these are basically Paragon 800, just maxing all these out. Just to show you how it feels, all this stuff. You should basically get this at Paragon 800. Okay, let's do a 100. Vengeance pop. Shoot primary a little bit. You're gonna notice the damage slows down a lot. You gotta play these a little different as well. Alright, first pack is down. This is probably gonna be like a 5 to 7 minute clear, I'd imagine. I mean, we're not doing bad. But what I'm gonna show you later, you're gonna be like, wow, this is way better. That's the difference between, you know, doing either a speed build or, you know, not maximizing, min-maxing your builds. That's what's going to do. You're going to be underperforming, and it's not your fault. It's just the way the mechanics and synergies just like don't properly work together. So generally I'll use smoke screen if I really need an extra boost of speed to dodge a bunch of damage. Or creates like strategic space against a boss or certain enemies that are constantly spinning, or, you know, summoning these ice orbs to come and kill me. So that's what I'm doing there. So I'm just constantly pressing 1 every once in a while. I mean, if I don't need to move around, I don't generally do it. So there's 2 packs knocked out right there. Like right here, there's a billion spiders. I don't really find it necessary to, I'm elite hunting. Elite and champion hunting for the most part. I mean, am I having issue with all the trash around? No, not at all. The stuff's getting destroyed by the bombs as I'm going through, so I'm not making it a primary focus. Good density here. Great map. So this is going to be, what, like a 4 or 5 minute clear? Now, of course, I haven't completely maxed out this build. For example, I think you could remove preparation. You don't really need it. Just because of how Gears of the Dreadlands works, and you're constantly shooting the primary with your strafe ability. So you're getting all that hatred back when you're hitting enemies. So you're never having any resource issue. You never have a resource problem because you're constantly hitting with the primary skill. And even if you don't have like the boost of speed, because that's all it's really doing is boost your damage, boost your speed, and that's what Gears of the Dreadland first couple, like the 2 and 4 piece do. They increase damage. You don't need damage. That's not the point. You're getting utility by utilizing the primary skill when you're casting strafe. So you're getting the resource back, and you're also having additional movement, which this kind of playstyle needs. You need to move a lot. You could just stand here and do this, and that would work fine, but I find it beneficial to be moving, especially when you're kind of squishy. You're not like super squishy, but you're using squirts, so you're double squishy. So it's better to just keep moving and dodging all these attacks. Now, like I was saying, this build isn't necessarily optimized. Like, you could probably replace preparation for companion with a wolf skill or something to give you additional damage. Anything to that measure. For the most part, you only need spike trap and whatever is going to detonate your spike trap. So there we go, 7-minute run. I mean, that's why it's more of the speed build. It's not built for doing a lot of damage, extremes amounts of damage, more for just casually just gliding around and chilling and doing your thing there. So we're just going to level up some gems and then move on. So that's the low end. That's your speed build. It's not going to peak over 100 optimally just doing your regular riffs, bounties, stuff to that measure. I don't think that's too bad of a build. Now we're going to move on to the build that I just made, and this thing, I like this thing a lot. So here it is. We have NATALYA's full set with Ring of Granger. Nothing really changed in the cube, in Kanai's cube. Same stuff here. We are using rockets. This doesn't matter anymore, and I'll show you why. We are now using a different rune. Anything but this rune. You do not want to use this rune with the way I build this out. Scatter is kind of pointless because you're granted scatter via one of the weapons. And yeah, that's about it. So the way this works is this is your more just, you're strafing constantly. Strafe is what's going to be proccing your damage from your spike traps. Displacement is your movement. Preparation, you're going to need this because your hatred's going to be dropping off a lot. Sometimes you're going to be using the primary, and maybe it'd be better to, get something that's going to give you hatred faster, like that, for example. Lightning rod spike traps, because they'll make this look really cool. Dark Heart gives you some damage reduction. The traps, more damage. Hatred, we're getting hatred back and more damage as well. So we're going to jump right into a 105, and I'm going to show you how this baby works. So how this works and how it's a little different than from the generator build focus or the speed build is that when I'm strafing, I'm casting rockets, and rockets are what are detonating the spike traps. So this is a little more squishy, a little less movable, not as like movement focused, a little slower, but it does more damage, and that's the trade-off. And you're just going. You're just going. Shield pylon, I'm invincible now. So I'm just doing my thing, utilizing, smoke screen more as a movement, kind of your form of movement, because you're going to be incredibly slow. And you're just gliding. You're gliding along. Kind of like a skateboard. I like the aesthetic of the electricity going off from the spike traps. It's really cool. It's kind of like a lightning field. I don't think I'll have an issue with doing, maybe a 110, and I'm not maxed out at all. I could obviously get augments, I could have my gems at a higher level, but this feels really good, really smooth. I'm using pylons, I know. It's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be testing the build. As you can see, your hatred drops really fast, so that is why preparation is really good. Just gonna want to dodge Blood Maw because he's angry. Your rockets are constantly detonating your traps, and boom, done. So 3 minutes, 105 in 3 minutes. I think that's pretty good. Now another way you could do this is instead of Rocket Storm, you could go Demolition, you could go Grenades. I don't know if it's like a percentage of whatever does better, but I feel like the rockets and grenades are hitting better than just your standard kind of moving and shooting the arrows or knives that come out of strafe. I mean, could it be wrong? Yes. I guess reality is it doesn't really matter which rune you pick from strafe because it's going to be hitting the traps anyway. The traps are going to be going off. Personally, like the rockets and the grenades bouncing, I think it looks really cool, syncing up and overloading my brain with all the stuff that's going on with the traps. So you could go essentially with any of these runes. I don't think it'd be too detrimental to how you want to play, but I mean, choice is up to you, really. Like I was saying, you can try any of the different runes. Maybe they work out better for you. Maybe like the cold traps. You want to check out how that looks. And like I said, there's a lot of different gear you can put on to probably optimize it better. But this is just kind of what I found so far, just playing around in PTR for a couple hours. So anyway, that's just the new NATALYA set, along working with spike traps. That's just some of the stuff I found a speed build and kind of a push build for right now. That's just what I found. I haven't really checked the leaderboards too much. But anyways, I hope this video helped you and gave you some ideas on how to work this new NATALYA set and spike traps. Give me some suggestions if you have any different ways I could change up the build, or maybe some ideas on maybe what I could throw in to make it better. And if there's anything else you want to see from me and get my opinion on, just let me know in the comments. Like the video if you do enjoy the video. Subscribe for more videos. It's going to help me a lot. And also, I'm on Twitch now, streaming. So follow me over there. And I'll check you on the next video. See you then.